Hi everyone and welcome to English Acquiring and topic discussion studies. Yes, I like the idea that uh, if you focus on something, if you concentrate on something, it will be a kind of fast learning. Yes, speeding up learning is possible by focusing on something that we need or that we need to learn. In fact, they also say, and I also like it, that our mind and heart follow attention. And so focusing on something also means showing attention. Yes. While, for example, uh, we are thinking about the theme of an article, for example, uh, whether we are aware of it or not, our English will certainly develop gradually. Okay, yes, after this short introduction, let's start with the first page of our presentation, starting with hypothetical, with the heading hypothetical. Yeah, not actual, hypothetical, imaginary. The hypothetical one, something which is hypothetical, yes, the hypothetical one has no meaning on its own at all. Truth has meaning and value. The value of the virtue is understood through comparison, which is why short stories are presented in the form of comparison. Yeah, I also like this sentence, truth has meaning and value. Why is it so? Because they also say that truth has power in itself. Yes, it is very attractive. The truth is very attractive. So, while we are learning something, it is true that we need true guidance and true knowledge, information. Okay. Real or fictional? When it comes to being, yeah, this is also a beautiful expression. When it comes to a noun, gerund, or a noun clause, for example, when it comes to how you will learn something, when it comes to why you will learn something, yes, when it comes to learning something, okay. When it comes to being entrusted with something, the concept of trust is a must or is an indispensable element, is an indispensable understanding. So, uh, either you feel that you are entrusted or not. There isn't the third choice. Yes, I think it is impossible to be neutral in this case. Yes, for example, at a hotel, imagine that you are at a hotel and you give something, you give your jacket to the cloak room. And so what you have done, you have entrusted your jacket to them, to the people in that cloakroom. So they should see it as a trust. They cannot claim that they are the owner. They don't claim ownership. So there isn't the third choice. In this case, we can't be neutral. Yes. Example, when you give an item to the cloakroom, the mentality is based on trust. Either they either they are trustworthy in trust or with trust, or betray. They betray trust. Yes. Disapproval, of course, they ignore trust. A deficient one needs perfection. Yes, it is also a law, I think. It's a certain rule that a deficient one needs perfection. A contingent being exists and perfects itself by seeing its deficiency, impotence, and poverty. It is impossible for an deficient one to perfect itself without seeing the deficiency, impotence, and poverty. By being modest, it becomes able to use itself as a unit of measure. Yes, modesty opens the door here again. Ego is a unit of measure also to reflect God's beautiful names such as knowledge, wisdom, lordship, power, compassion, and we ponder like this, for example, as I know finitely, God knows infinitely. I understand his infinite knowing with my finite knowing. Ego manages to see God's absolute lordship by means of its virtual lordship. A trustworthy individual keeps the trust safely. Yes, this is a golden principle. A trustworthy individual keeps the trust safely without possessing it, without giving harm to it. A. Both virtue and proficiency are important for a person's personality. Why is trustworthiness the most important of the three good qualities? Yes, trustworthiness is the most important of the three qualities because they are needed after being trustworthiness. I mean, if an individual is trustworthy or if an individual has trustworthiness, then if he is able to do something very well, then it matters. It has a value. Or if, for example, that person is honest and if that person never tell lies, then that virtues are preserved. They are also preserved and sustained because of being trustworthy. Okay. Perfection belongs to God. Yes, because God's existence is God is self-existent and perfection belongs to God. The ego doesn't have any meaning by itself. Its relative knowing is indicative of or is a sign of the absolute knowing of God as a unit of measure. Judging is with wisdom. If we have a positive perspective, we respond to the things positively, and vice versa. Yes, as you know, vice versa also means, and the opposite is also true. Let's change it into negative, for example. If we have a negative perspective, may God protect us from it. We respond to the things negatively, unfortunately. Okay, let me read the image first. This is the crux of the matter. Yes, making good decisions really uh, making good decisions really counts, really matters in life. Yes, this is what matters. This is what matters most in life. Let's see what it is again. Being able to see the ego as entrusted. Imagine that an employer employs an employee, a worker. This employee's job is to place incoming online orders or items in the warehouse of the company and record them. Later, the company sells the demanded products one by one and replace them routinely. Can this employee direct some incoming orders to his or her own home address instead of the warehouse address? Of course, no. He or she doesn't have a right to do that because he is or she is entrusted with that warehouse. That warehouse address is important here. Or what is important here is the warehouse address. If that employee does this, does he or she see his or her ego as entrusted or as possessive? Yes, so we see that, for example, if that employee is virtuous or very hardworking, very skillful, very proficient at his job, but if he is not trustworthy, then he or she misuse his virtues and abilities, skills because of lack of trustworthiness. So again, there isn't the third choice here. An individual should either be trustworthy or otherwise he or she betrays the trust. Which one will be in the center? This is also the crux of the matter with another explanation. Which one will be in the center, the self-referential perspective or the other indicative perspective? A self-centered individual sacrifices everything to himself or herself. Yes, every good qualities, every good skills and abilities to himself or herself. On the other hand, the ego that is viewed with the other indicative perspective gives the trust, the will, the wisdom, property, possession, power, knowledge, beauty, invention, and innovation to their owner. Then this is the justice. Okay. Divine revelation and philosophy. The materialistic philosophy deals with human beings and other beings only from the aspect that they look at themselves each. Revelation, on the other hand, defines that all beings look at God. They came from him and they look at him. How can philosophy and divine revelation reconcile? Yes, how can they make peace? Pondering, yes, by pondering under the light of divine revelation. This is the answer of this question. How can philosophy and divine revelation reconcile or make peace? So we can answer, they can, philosophy and divine revelation make peace on the condition that philosophy ponder under the light of divine revelation. Why? Why is it like this? Why is it so? Because as an individual, as a human being, we are always in need of firm, sound, and stable truths. So under the light of them, we can acquire all scientific, artistic, and ethical knowledges correctly. Okay. From time to time, the divine revelation and philosophy combine. When philosophy also took knowledge of revelation, knowledge of religion into consideration, mankind lived golden ages. Yes. Okay, all right. This is all for now. So, again, I hope you will find it useful, and I wish you a good day. See you in the next video.